being of beauty. Our many differences are what make us cherished. What others may consider flaws, we know makes us perfect. We are all welcomed here, and we rejoice in joining together today in this season of holidays. So be you from the North Pole or the South Pole, or from sunrise to sunset, let us rejoice.
People, look east. The time is near, the crowning of the year. Make your house fair as you are able. Trim the hearth and set the table. People, look east and sing today. Love, the guest, is on the way. Furrows, be glad, though earth is bare. One more seed is planted there. Give up your strength, the seed to nourish, that in course the flower may flourish. People, look east and sing today. Love, the rose, is on the way. Birds, though you long have ceased to build, guard the nest that must be filled. Even the hour when wings are frozen, God for fledging time has chosen. People, look east and sing today. Love, the bird, is on the way. Stars, keep the watch when night is dim. One more light the bowl shall bring, shining beyond the frosty weather, bright as sun and moon together. People, look east and sing today. Love, the star, is on the way.
What would the holidays be without carols? However, we cannot sing, but we can hum. So, please stand as you are willing and able and hum with all the passion while our choir sings "Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly." So you don't even have to remember the words. You just have to hum the tune. So let us join the choir in humming "Deck the Halls."
We covenant to love, revere, discover, and connect.
The Nativity, illustrated by Julie Vivas. In the days of Herod the king, the angel Gabriel was sent from God to the city of Nazareth, to a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph, and the virgin's name was Mary. And the angel said unto her, Hail, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. And when she saw him, she was troubled. The angel said, Fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with God. thou shalt bring forth a son, and call his name Jesus. It came to pass that Caesar Augustus decreed that all the world should be taxed, everyone to his own city. So Joseph went from Nazareth to the city of Bethlehem, with Mary, his wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the day came that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son. And wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them at the inn. There were in the same country shepherds in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. When lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said, Fear not, for I bring you tidings of great joy. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God. When the angels were gone, the shepherds said to one another, Let us go into Bethlehem to see this thing which is come to pass. And they came with haste, and found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger. And behold, there came wise men to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star, and are come to worship him. And lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it stood over where the young child was. When they came into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. The wise men departed into their own country, and the shepherds also returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen. And the child was called Jesus, which was so named by the angel before he was conceived in the womb.
At this time, I would like to share with you our joys and cares that have been written down in our book. Maureen Hasselbach is doing well after her, what's that called when they removed hysterectomy, thank you, on Tuesday. She thanks you for all her support. And I'd like to ask you to please keep sending her cards of love and thoughts. Rose Bosch asks for your thoughts and prayers after the loss of one of the students at Eastwood Day Treatment to gun violence. Please keep students, staff, and his family near in your hearts. So, I'm sure you noticed, because I told you to go grab an ornament, that instead of stones, we have these ornaments And today I'm asking you during our moment of silence to not only put your own personal joys and cares into that ornament, but put your Christmas wishes in as well. And after our silent meditation, we will come forward, and in the tradition of the season, we will decorate this tree.
O thou joyful day, O thou blessed day, gladsome peaceful Christmas tide. Earth's hope awakened, love life has taken, joy. O joy to all at Christmas tide, O sanctissima, O sanctissima, gladsome peaceful Christmas tide. Light now is beaming, our souls redeeming, joy. O joy to all at Christmas tide.
Sure anyone who's ever been in a room with a child knows, sometimes positive reinforcement does not guarantee they're on their best behavior, like at all. So the Austrians came up with a solution for this. Krampus is essentially Santa from hell, but not really given his origin in pagan traditions. He's the type of dude, or according to a few interesting postcards, lady, who will mess you up, usually with a bundle of birch sticks, or a jingle bell belt thing. The story goes that while Santa is out giving all the good children presents and spreading joy and all the love, Krampus goes out and nags kids who have been naughty, often spanking them with birch stick bundles, dragging them off to hell and away from their families. Just general weird stuff that could be considered cruel and unusual. Like if you were to cover a cat with margarine. Honestly, Krampus seems the type to cover a child in margarine for no apparent reason. Possibly because in some legends he actually eats children he takes away. Anyways, it is believed that Krampus comes from an Old Norse myth and is the son of Hel, the god of the underworld. He has long horns and is very Goatmar centaur thing in appearance. He has a long snake-like tongue, maybe for chanting, maybe for lashing. His appearance aligns rather well with a lot of pagan events, including one that involves marching through the streets to disperse wintertime ghosts. As Christianity grew more popular, they changed his appearance to what they wanted. Most notably, the bells adorning his arms, likely meant to symbolize the bind of the devil. They were very determined to turn him into a low-budget Satan of Christmas, but generally, he's just a goat man that likes to punish naughty children around Christmas time. So once every year on a night called Krampus Nacht, he comes out and, well, according to the children, he takes them or whips them. According to the adults, a couple of guys just dress up as him to freak children out and walk through people's yards. You know, just to make sure they believe that Krampus is real. Because that's a normal thing to do. It's a whole thing though. Like in the 1940s, there was a bunch of postcards they made of Krampus, which are still tradition to give out around this time of year, where it's just like it's a painting of Krampus with some funny quote, or just as a weird message. There are some where he's portrayed as a woman who's beating a few men with sticks, another where he's just carrying kids off in a basket on his back, like a backpack, to who knows where, sometimes just a river. They got real creative. But yeah, Krampus is a real fun thing to look into. I had a lot of fun researching this. There is also a Krampus Fleur, I think it's called, where once a year a bunch of guys dress up as Krampus just to let off steam and just run through the streets. It's like running with the bulls, but not. For the most part, people just seem to have fun with it, yeah, that's basically it. It just seems that they expand it more every time you look into it, though, so yeah.
It's that time of year again. Merry Christmas! To celebrate this holiday, the others are writing about truly important elements of this fantastic holiday. So that's why I'm going to be talking about Pickle. So, who in here knows about the Christmas pickle? Well, I'm going to give a brief summary. On Christmas Eve, a pickle ornament gets hung up on a tree in secret. Then, on Christmas Day, whoever finds the pickle first gets a reward. So, well, the tradition varies upon families. So, how did the tradition start? Well, for a while, people believed it was a German tradition, but people have begun to suspect otherwise. Woolworth's was a department store that would sell fruit and vegetable ornaments imported from Germany around Christmas time. And it is thought that an employee made the German tradition story to sell more ornaments. But nevertheless, the tradition began to spread, and has become a worldwide tradition enjoyed by many. Some parents even use the tradition to get their kids to slow down and appreciate the tree before hastily tearing open the gifts. So, next Christmas, consider giving the pickle a try if you haven't yet.
This year, we are surrounded by traditions everywhere we turn. We have done some here today, decorating the tree, to at least humming carols, to talking about Krampus, which is a tradition, the Pickle is a tradition, all of them. But as you use, especially those who come from religions that are steeped in tradition, we tend to think we've grown beyond them. Or as McGovern wrote in Binding to Tradition, a Messy Practice, Unitarian Universalists tend to ignore or disavow the claim that tradition has on them. Unitarian Universalism comes out of a freedom-seeking way. The idea that UUs are bound or would bind themselves to anything feels abhorrent to many. It is in our congregation's cultural DNA to herald freedom and autonomy. But is tradition something we need to grow beyond? Is it something that we need to disavow? Do we as Unitarian Universalists have our own traditions? It is true. If you visit 10 different UU churches across the world, you will think you have visited 10 different religions. Some are more Christian-based or Eastern-based. Some are more earth-centered, and some are more science-centered. And yes, each of these churches, including us, have our personal traditions, ours being the bond of union. But do we as UUs have traditions? And the thing is, we do. The most obvious is the lighting of the chalice. Another is the flower communion. Our joys and concerns is a UU tradition. Each church may do it a little different way, but every UU church I've been to has joys and concerns. At this time of the year, we have the candlelight vigil, which will be, for those of you who want to join us, at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Little plug. UU Church hold them on different nights, be it winter solstice, Christmas Eve, but they hold one. A relatively new tradition is the 7 principles. And of course, there's coffee hour, the time when each church's congregation comes together to connect personally with one another each week. UUs have traditions. And the amazing and unique aspect of Unitarian Universalism is that we can change, we can alter our traditions without losing or changing the essence of the tradition. Lighting candles to placing rocks or to hanging ornaments. Instead of walking together, we now journey together. As a living religion, we can also add new traditions. We now have a meditation circle we call prayer circle. There was a time in our church when there was not a need for a prayer circle, and now there is. So, it has become a tradition. We, as UUs, can choose which traditions we want to participate in or not. Be it prayer circle, joys and cares. However, we should never belittle a tradition that does not speak to us, because it does speak to someone else. As a living religion, we can allow and acknowledge when a tradition has run its course and let it go. We are no longer a purely Christian faith. You may be listening to me and thinking, it is in my cultural DNA to herald freedom and autonomy. And it's in mine too. But what does freedom and autonomy, or even religion, have to do with tradition? Tradition is birthday parties, it's weddings, it's anniversaries, it's funerals. It is turkeys with cranberry sauce and green bean casserole, or desperately trying to avoid that food and having honey acorn squash with brown rice casserole. It is decorating a tree, giving gifts, lighting fireworks on New Year's Eve. Tradition is what binds us together as a community, a family, a congregation. It links us with our past and leads us into our future. McGovern put it this way: binding to tradition is to acknowledge we are not the first ones here. For good and ill, we are all inheritors. In binding to tradition, we are not saying, I allow myself to be changed, oppressed, or tyrannized. It is to recognize we are part of a chain, by birth, adoption, or choice. We have ancestors and legacy. Our ancestors are to be reckoned with, whoever they were, whatever they did. If they delivered gifts to the world, it is on us to continue delivering those gifts in our time. And if our ancestors delivered harm to the world, we must not disown them, but interrupt the harm they caused, seeking healing and making restitution. We need to embrace tradition so that we can uphold freedom and support autonomy. So in the spirit of tradition, we are going to express our joy in this community by giving you a gift. Our crush this year, which is whatever anybody wanted to be except the teens, I made them wear the animal hats. I got evil about it. We'll be passing out ornaments that they tried to make. I thought I picked a simple ornament. No, I did not. So I made the ornaments. And homemade chocolate that they did make. So, let the little ones take the basket and let the little ones hand them out. Go over this way, baby. Go over this way. Are there any other little ones who want to help? Come on, guys. You want to come up and help hand out bags? I'll hold your hands while you do it if you're shy. Come here, sweetheart.
'Tis the season to be giving, and at this time, we ask you that you donate as generously as you can. Half of the free will donation will go to the Women's Safe, a place for people to go in order to escape dangerous situations. If you're a guest, please let the basket pass you by.
As a representative of the Board of Trustees, I want to thank you for your gifts today, both your monetary gifts, your gifts of time, and most importantly, your gift of being here with us. The gift of care to give to each other and with everybody is what makes this season special and what makes this community special. Please know that your financial resources are used with diligence and care by your finance committee and your board in order to further our mission to love, revere, discover, and connect. Now, please stand as you're willing and able and hum jingle bells while the choir sings for us.
at school. So we are going to bring you one last tradition today. Miss Ashley? In 1823, a gentleman by the name of Clement Clark Moore, a Unitarian, wrote a poem called A Visit from St. Nicholas. He wanted to have Christmas be a holiday to be enjoyed by children. I challenge you to recognize this poem.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while vision of sugar plum danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our graves for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn, there across such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutter, and threw open the sash. The moon on the back of the new falling snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeers, with a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Cancer, now and Vixen, and on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the walk. Now dash away, all, as dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly. When they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop, the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof, they prancing and pawing up each little hoof.
She stopped in the middle of the poem. It's okay, sweetheart, we'll move on. It is a long poem. So what happens is he comes down the chimney and he fills up the stocking, in case you didn't know. And then he shoots back up on the stocking, and as he's flying away in the night with these reindeer, he says, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." There we go. Just so you know, that poem is also why we have a fat and jolly Santa. No, I'm sorry, I'm doing it that way. Now, it's your turn.
Please stand and join hands as we're willing and able to join in harmony. We join hands